Today on Hunting Nostalgia, we're doing one of my favorite things. We are going to a massive toy show, TOYPALOOZA, the biggest toy show actually in Pittsburgh. I cannot wait, and I'm taking my favorite hunting buddy, my son Lucas. He is after something very specific today. He is after a Lego Princess Leia from Return of the Jedi in her slave bikini outfit. He won't even talk about it in front of his mother. It is absolutely hilarious, but that is what he's after. And he always says to me, Dad, can we go hunting nostalgia today? Oh man, and that means the world to me. I know that that means to him, let's go toy hunting, you know, and we can't always go, but the fact that he asks in that specific way means the world to me. And also, my buddies from the Secret Compartment commandeer the episode, and they're gonna show you an absolutely hilarious show that they have created about obscure toys, toys that I know that I have never seen before, and I'm thinking you've never seen before as well, but they do it in an absolutely hilarious way. Wait till you see that, right in the middle of the episode. I think you'll catch it. And then Elvira Taylor, my favorite moment of nostalgia that she has ever done, and it's about movie toys. Wait till you see it. Some movie toys, they're hits. Some movie toys are misses. You'll see what she thinks in her moment of nostalgia. All right, I've already yapped too much. Let's get to the toy show. What do you say?
Remember all the fun and joy of your favorite game or childhood toy. If only you could feel that way again, again. Well, you don't have to go back in time, 'cause Nick and friends can help you find long lost treasures you once loved. Let's go hunting nostalgia.
Today, Hunting Nostalgia is in Cheswick, Pennsylvania at the TOYPALOOZA Toy Show, hosted by D and E Collectables in Sharpsburg, Pennsylvania. This show is absolutely crazy. I've already been told that I'm taking too long. Isn't that right?
Yes.
I brought my son here. He is a very, very 80s child. I try to push all of my interests on my kids. I try as hard as I can, but you have to wait until they are actually interested in it, and I can't wait. Hey Luke, you're after a couple specific things today. What are you after?
Legos and Harry Potter wands.
Legos and Harry Potter wands. Let's see what we can come up with today at TOYPALOOZA. First thing we have to do is we have to come up with a plan. Because this place is so big, we have to make sure we see everything. So which way do you think we should go? Actually, I got a great idea. Look. Here, come here. We're gonna flip this coin. We're gonna flip my lucky coin like Two-Face. And if it's heads, we'll go this way. If it's tails, we'll go that way. Deal? Here, you pick it. What do you think? Ready? What's it gonna be?
Tails.
Oh, you're wrong. So we're going this way. That was
Is it this way?
This way. Let's get out here. Let's see what we can find. What do you see, dude?
I like that.
Hey, we're still looking. We're still looking. You can't buy from the very first table, you know? If you buy from the very first table, you don't know what you want. But if you look, and then you can see, okay, I remember that one's right there, then you can come back and buy. There is so much stuff here, Lou. What do you think? Hey, you know what I know that you were looking for?
What?
I know that you were looking for some very specific Lego guys, weren't you?
Yeah. Wait,
So maybe we could find some Lego
over
guys.
there.
All right, well, let's make our way down this way, but look at everything, you know? Oh my goodness. Luke, you know who that is? What does he drive?
A TIE fighter.
He's a TIE fighter pilot. I told you he was my 80s kid. Wow, how cool is that? Only on Hunting Nostalgia at TOYPALOOZA Toy Show. Give him a fist bump, Lou. Yeah, yes, that's so awesome.
It's Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back action figures. 47 in all, each sold separately. Here's new Bespin Guard, AT-AT Commander, and Imperial TIE Fighter pilot. Now you can get this new 4LOM action figure free for 5 proofs of purchase from any Star Wars action figures. Details on specially marked packages at participating stores. Offer expires August 31st, 1982. New Bespin Guard, new AT-AT Commander, new Imperial TIE Fighter pilot, each sold separately. From Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection.
I stopped by one of my favorite booths, Curio. Curio is a really unique toy store in Zelienople, Pennsylvania. It's both an art studio, and downstairs, it is seriously like you are walking into a 1980s toy store. It is absolutely amazing. And he has some really sweet Star Wars stuff. Luke, look, what is this set from? What movie is it from?
Star Wars.
Star Wars Return of the Jedi, right?
Yes.
This is the one where Luke is on the sail barge and he's trying to fight to get freed from Jabba has them all arrested, you know?
Yes.
This guy, this slug, this sleazy pile of worm-ridden filth right here. You know what I mean? And what's this guy do the whole time?
He laughs. Then he
That's right. You absolutely have to check out Curio. It's a really awesome local toy shop, and the people there, the owners, they're absolutely fantastic. One of them just so happens to be here today, and I don't have him mic'd, but I would sure like to ask him real quick. Dude, you have some really awesome stuff here.
Thanks.
What is different about the TOYPALOOZA show than other shows? This thing is crazy.
Well, I love that it's a one-day thing, and there's a lot of one-day shows creeping up, which is great, and we can just kind of be here and enjoy it in one day and not be away from the family too long.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's just such an energy about TOYPALOOZA. I mean,
really
just
is.
really, D and E does a great job putting it together. People just love coming here. I mean, it's one of my favorites. So,
Well, like I
yeah.
was saying, this is the biggest toy show in Pittsburgh. Gotta come. You gotta come next year. Absolutely gotta get down here. Thanks, dude.
It's just gonna keep getting bigger.
That's right. Get down here. Oh, Lou, we found the Legos. Look at this. This is absolutely
Daddy,
crazy.
do you see Leia in her bikini?
Who do you see?
Look. Leia in
The
her
Ewoks?
bikini. No, Leia in her bikini.
Oh, are you talking about Leia?
Yeah, that.
Lucas gets very shy when he talks about Princess Leia. Most specifically, Princess Leia in her Return of the Jedi Jabba slave outfit. He never talks about it in front of his mother. It's hilarious.
Coming soon, it's the Secret Compartment. Join licensed toy experts Nick Farrell and Rich Myrick,
We just lost half our audience, Nick.
along with famed celebrity personality Rom the Space Knight,
This show sucks.
as they explore the exciting world of vintage toys.
I don't need to be putting my robots' heads on their buttholes.
With a focus on fun and friendship.
How you like them, you crumb bum?
No topic is too obscure.
You don't think about that cartoon? Well, I'll tell you why.
No toy is too forgotten.
I don't even know who the that is.
And when these three get together, there's no telling what surprises are in store.
It's a line comprised entirely of entities that you share a lot in common with, buddy.
Suicidal alcoholics.
No. No. Robots.
Oh, how cute.
This is a show for you. And you. And you. And you. And you. So what are you waiting for? Discover the secret for yourself on Instagram.com at @the_secret_compartment_show. And remember, don't tell anyone. It's a secret.
I finally got what I wanted.
Yep, he finally did. He finally got what he wanted. Lucas found something that he wanted, and I found something that I wanted. How much better does it get than, I know you ever, what am I? Huh? Who's this guy?
Pee-wee.
Pee Wee Herman. Color forms, it's so cool. And Lucas, on our mission today, you wanted to find two things. What was the first thing you wanted to find? Princess Leia in a bikini. He won't talk about that in front of his mother. Well, he got her. He got Princess Leia in her bikini. Now that's funny stuff, Lou. Only on Hunting Nostalgia.
Let's go hunting nostalgia.
Those guys at the Secret Compartment were absolutely hilarious. You gotta see more of their show on Instagram TV. It is so funny. Rom is my favorite by far. Sorry guys, he's hilarious. But I want to show you a little closer view because whenever I'm at these toy shows, I feel like Taz. I feel like the Tasmanian devil. I feel like I'm in a whirlwind. There are so many toys around you. You can't take it all in. But I want to show you this. It's really cool. Color forms were very popular in the 80s and early 90s as well. And what they were they were little tiny plastic cutout sheets of different characters. I remember I had Dick Tracy, I had Ninja Turtles, I had X-Men a lot. I did not have Pee-wee. I did not have Pee-wee's Playhouse, but I do now. It was my favorite find of the day today at TOYPALOOZA, and you can see they have all the good ones. Some of them are missing, sure, but there's Pee-wee, there's Conky, there's Globey, there's Mr. Kite, you got Miss Yvonne. It's just, oh, and Cowboy Curtis. This is great. I love stuff like this. It's really hard to keep items like this intact for this long, but this, thankfully, this person did, and I was able to purchase it at TOYPALOOZA. All right, let's get back to the toy show. Come on.
Your eyes peeled for that Harry Potter wand, okay? In a very shocking turn of events, Lucas became extremely tired when he found what he wanted. Repurposing toys is always something that toy makers try and do. And this one here was Galoob. That was the mold for the Galoob Lex Luger figure, and years later they repurposed it, they shrunk it, and they repurposed it into a WCW watch. How cool is that? Today, walking around Cheswick, Pennsylvania at the TOYPALOOZA toy show, I feel a lot like Luke at Dagobah with Yoda on his back. But there's a lot of really cool open loose items here. Stuff you could dig in to find that treasure that you're after. Well, speaking of treasures, I found a 1977 Kenner, I think this is the 15-inch Chewy. Has anyone ever noticed that when Chewy's not wearing his bandolier strap, he looks very bare? Right?
So I did not buy nude Chewy, but I want to show you what I'm talking about. Look, you see? Isn't it unbelievable how much clothing that bandolier strap truly does provide Chewbacca? And Lucas, as you can see, he's getting tired. Now that he has found what he is after in the episode, his legs are just so tired. Just how convenient for him. But right now, I want you to take my absolute very favorite moment of nostalgia with Elvira Taylor.
Thanks, Nick. I'm Elvira from the Doll Circle, and today I wanted to talk about, for my moment of nostalgia, toys from different movie lines. Now, there's so many different movies out there that have produced toys, action figures, and dolls. Some of them made total sense, and some of them we were like, why? Like, who's sitting there going, this movie needs toys? Because sometimes it works, and other times we're just like, no. So today I want to talk about a few that I personally really enjoyed, that I thought made sense, but in general did not do so well in the world of toys. So my brother and I actually really love this movie called Waterworld. Yes, Waterworld, a big flop. If you're a big movie buff, you already know Waterworld didn't do so good in the box offices. Didn't make a splash. No? No one? Okay. So they tried to do toys to go with it. Now, Kenner was the one that backed and made these action figures. Now you can find them, honestly, like on eBay or toy stores for like a few dollars, because the movie didn't do well, and the movie also wasn't really geared towards kids. Now, they made collectible figures that were more higher end, like either like sideshow collectible things, or like maybe even, I don't know, maybe even NECA, where it's not like super collectible, but more like in a lower price point for collectors. I could maybe see that working, but since they produced it in more of a like childlike packaging and more of a childlike image for the toy, it was kind of weird. Now, my brother did own all the figures and the giant boat from the movie, which was massive. I'm so sad we ended up getting rid of it, but it was literally like this big, like it was huge. And it was kind of honestly pretty good for, you know, being a Kenner play toy. The quality was there, and it did kind of resemble the movie quite well, but it didn't work. And the toys you can find, like I said, really inexpensive at a lot of collectors shops, and it just didn't ring any bells with a lot of people. I liked it because I enjoyed the film so much. I love Kevin Costner. I love epic, over the top, especially 90s films were just really over the top for action. And it was just like, you know what? It's so sad that they didn't do as well as I thought they did. I thought they were memorable. I thought they were iconic, but now everyone's like, no. now. Now, another movie that I really enjoyed was Dick Tracy. I thought Dick Tracy was such a great film, but unfortunately some of the toys, especially the ones by Playmates, had really weird, I don't know, sizing to them. Now, this is a toy line that I loved the movie, but the toys were a little bit hard for me to connect with, especially since they were kind of short and stubby and didn't really make sense. If they were more stylized like the actual characters in the sense of like their size of their body and the proportions, maybe would have been more connected to them, but Playmates just, in my opinion, kind of lost it on this line, where I loved the film and I wanted to like the toys, and I do have some of the figures, but it just doesn't translate well in that sizing. And I understand that Playmates, you know, have a certain aesthetic for their toy lines and their brands, but on Dick Tracy, didn't win my heart for these, that's for sure. It didn't win me over. Now, I am going to give Playmates one good score though for their Conehead figures. I thought the movie Coneheads was hilarious when it came out, and it is hilarious every time I watch it, and it's hilarious to this day. And Dan Aykroyd, first off, classic comedian, love him on SNL, love him in all of his movies, from Ghostbusters to, of course, even Coneheads. Now, the movie's still funny for a lot of us, but the figures didn't do well. And again, that surprised me because I personally enjoyed the proportions of the Conehead figures. I like the accessories that they came with. I love that they came with different outfits that resembled the characters from the movies, the little itty bitty pieces, the little like cone ring that went on their cone heads. Like, I liked it. I thought that Playmates did a good job with these, and it worked well giving us the pieces that went with the movie, but unfortunately a lot of fans didn't like them, and I'm probably alone on this when I say I enjoyed the Playmates Conehead figures. Yeah, I'm probably the only person that's ever said that. Now, we can't talk about movie and toys without hitting up the 80s. Now, the 80s was a time where there literally was like, are they making a movie? Are they making a show? Is there a character that we can make into an action figure? Is there a character we can make into a doll? Done. Do it. Make money. And it was just that time where everything was being produced in an action figure or some type of toy, whether it was a flop or not. I'm the type of person that if I love a movie, I have to have a toy from it, even if it doesn't make sense. So even if it was like, for example, 80s and 90s, like Robocop, for example, I love that movie and I love the little figures, but that movie's not really meant for kids, so I'm surprised that even a toy company would even think about wanting to produce toys from it, because you'd be afraid that like a parent who, let's say, doesn't know about Robocop, which would be strange back then, if you just didn't know what Robocop was and you're like, oh, it's a robot toy, cool, buy it for your kid, and then you're like, well, if there's toys, it must be kid friendly, and then you end up letting your kid watch the movie and you're like, not what I expected, not a fun-loving robot movie. So it's like one of those things where it's like, I as an adult, totally enjoy it, but I could understand where occasionally brands, I'm kind of like sitting there going, no wonder they probably don't make a lot of toys for movies nowadays, you know, because people have understood like, oh, violent action movie, toys, not for everyone. Hit on one more toy that I personally really liked that I know no one else loved, but that's okay, because this movie did not do well in the box office either. I really like movies that don't do well in the box office. That's okay, that's okay. I'm not one to follow popular opinion, I guess. Was Last Action Hero. Mattel did this line, and they were similar to like a mix of like Kenner and Playmates, since we've been talking about those, into a figure, kind of proportion-wise did not look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but that's all right. But overall, though, I enjoyed that they made figures from this ridiculous, over-the-top, I guess we'll say action. I think more, to me, it's just comedy all the way, but there is a lot of action sequences in the film, and it was just so crazy that they made figures from this, even from the one scene where, let me show you a figure right now, and here he is. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger, yes. Now there's one scene where the main character is kind of falling asleep and drowsy in class, and they're talking about Hamlet, and he's like, to be or not to be, and you're like, oh gosh, can you imagine watching Hamlet if Arnold Schwarzenegger was playing in that play? It would be a very long play. And it doesn't totally look like him, but it's not a total miss in my opinion either. I actually really think he's cute. They're not the best of quality, but overall I was really surprised that they decided to do such a small scene in the movie, which to me was a very big scene because it's just so funny hearing Arnold Schwarzenegger recite Hamlet, but I was just so surprised that they decided to make a figure from such a small scene. So to me, it's one of those things where it's not iconic to everyone. Most people probably are like, why did they even bother? But to me, it's like, these are the moments where I'm like, I'm glad that they make toys from such weird movies and from weird scenes in movies and pointless scenes in movies, because now I have Arnold Schwarzenegger dressed up from a scene in Hamlet, who is wearing, yes, let me show you, cowboy boots. Why on earth is he wearing cowboy boots? Dressed up as Hamlet. Don't know why, but that's okay, and we love him no matter what. I don't know. There's probably so many other movies and figures that I completely obviously missed in this for my moment, but I wanted to just share some of my favorites that I thought were iconic because I remember them as a toy collector. Even to this day, when you go to like toy shows and stuff, you always see like a Dick Tracy figure, or you see like sometimes like a Robin Hood figure, that's another Kevin Costner one, or a Waterworld one, and you're like, why did they do it like that? Or why did they even bother? And if there's a movie that I missed that you want to share and let me know, a character that I missed or a figure, definitely hit me up on Instagram, whether it's at Elvira Taylor or at the Doll Circle. Hit me up and make sure to check out my Doll Circle YouTube channel where I talk about new and old toys on there as well. Thanks for watching my moment. This was fun to talk about weird movie figures. Back to you, Nick.
It is so true that there are hits and there are misses from movie lines. But I loved, like Hook, I love that toy line. Loved it. Very short-lived. Same with Dick Tracy. I love that as well. But one of my all-time favorites from a movie line, well, you know what? This is actually, it is from a movie line, but it's also from a cartoon. Short-lived cartoon as well, but one of my favorites. And a very innovative line as well. Police Academy. Oh, I just love the movie. Let's get back to the toy show. Let's go.
I was strolling down one of the aisles here and I stumbled across this really unique table. It is the combination of Christmas items, of glasses, and vintage toys. How cool is that? And it's called Cindy Simon Creations. And this is Cindy.
Hello.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
This is really neat.
Thank you.
I mean, obviously you love this. You love this
I love
nostalgia.
Yes.
But this is such a neat idea. So you had a whole bunch of old toys and you're like, what can I do with them to make them unique?
Well, that and the comics.
And the comics.
You get whenever you go to the show or to the sales that maybe it's 30 cents for a book.
That's right.
Why not repurpose them?
That's a great idea. Repurposing old toys. Old toys. We just talked about that before with the Galoob wrestling watch. This is really neat. Repurposing. Cindy here is saving old toys and old comic books. These are so neat. Can I pick one up, please?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, you know what? I love Gambit. I actually know the man who does the voice for Gambit, Tony Daniels. Bing. There is a cheap pop for you, Tony. But look at this. This is so neat. So Gambit is attached to the front. He has his stick in there, and then the coolest thing, which I didn't even notice, show him, Cindy.
Okay, you gotta take the staff out, but if they do come with accessories, it's inside the glass.
Oh, that's so neat.
While you're drinking it, the face is on the inside.
The face of Gambit. Now that is drinking and toy collecting with style, petite, with style.
Beware, the mutant-seeking sentinel.
Target identified. Mutant apprehended. Want to mix it up, big boy? My adamantium claws will get Rogue back. I've always had trouble with man. My optic blast will give him trouble. Firing projectile arm. Now, Sentinel, you will be defeated.
Sentinel robot playset and X-Men action figures. Each sold separately.
So I stopped by this booth here. This on Instagram is 80s Toy Review, and it's really, really neat. I found something perfect that we've been looking for all day. My little sidekick, after he found what he was after today, he threw in the towel. But this is what we were after for my daughter, and you know, we weren't promising her that this was here, but I told her, I said, listen, I hope that there is a Harry Potter one, but you never know. Look at that. Super awesome. But something else that's really neat about this particular booth is, in 1983, The Return of the Jedi came out with Jabba's throne. You know, it would open up and you'd be able to put Luke and whoever else down inside underneath Jabba. No place that anyone would want to be, just saying. But you know what I mean? You know that toy that I'm referring to. You'd always lose two things. You would always lose Jabba's hookah that he had there with the little globe, and you would always lose this little cackling weirdo. Salacious Crumb, you'd always lose him. You know, remember when he's digging out 3PO's eye? Not cool. But these items, it's super neat to find these vintage items. $5 each. How can you beat that? Vintage Toy Review. Check it out. What? 80s Toy Review. Psh, 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 psh. When you're out searching about for one of those vintage toy stores and you get out your computer phone and you type in toy stores, what comes up? Target, Five Below, that's not what we want. But I have two buddies, actually the producers of Hunting Nostalgia, Steve and Dave from the Toy Store Guide. And they have told me, no lie, they have told me that the state of Ohio is the vintage toy store capital of the world. And in Canton, Ohio, you can stop by Happy Pappy's Action Figure Extravaganza. I had to ask him for a bag because, as you all know, there is no way I'd be able to remember that. I can't remember names when someone just tells me.
I'm interrupting Nick to let you know he's absolutely right. ToyStoreGuide.com has information for hundreds of toy stores from all over the world, including Happy Pappy's Action Figure Extravaganza. So check us out at ToyStoreGuide.com, and you could hunt for nostalgia just like my hero Nick Bartley. I have to say my hero Nick Bartley?
So one more time, we have in Canton, Ohio, Happy Pappy's Action Figure Extravaganza. How cool is that? But this place has a ton of loose figures, which I absolutely love. There's puzzles. Look at that Masters of the Universe puzzle. Cheap too, and all the pieces are perfect. You know, these things deteriorate, but how neat. It's such a beautiful graphic on this puzzle. But what really caught my eye here, besides my buddy Alf, is this. We have Krang. Look at that.
We gotta get these pesky turtles. They're coming after us. What are we gonna do, Shredder? What's your problem?
This is so cool. I cannot leave Toypalooza without this. Unbelievable.
Krang, the master brain from Dimension X, ally of the evil Shredder and Baxter Stockman, the wickedly winged scientists are out to destroy the Ninja Turtles.
Red Doc!
Right, Ace Duck, the Turtles' tough feathered friend, along with Genghis Frog, who's always hopping for action, always ready to fight on the side of the Turtles.
You'll be riveted to your seat. Ninja Turtle.
From Playmates.
About halfway through, Luke had to be picked up by his mother because his legs hurt. Just so happened to be very closely after he found Leia. What a blast. I'm so happy that he will do those things with me. I'm so happy that he loves going and finding vintage toys. D and E Collectables does an absolutely spectacular job hosting that show. I cannot wait for the next one. I really can't. Secret Compartment, you're absolutely hilarious. I cannot wait to see your next show. Elvira, as always, spectacular work. Can't wait to see you next time on Hunting Nostalgia. This is the currently under construction Playhouse. And today on Hunting Nostalgia, we are doing something that I love to do. We're going to a massive toy show in downtown Pittsburgh. It's not in downtown. Not in downtown.
Walking around Toypalooza here in Cheswick, I feel a little bit like Luke. Stop, don't do it. Stop it. No yawning at the toy shows. Cackling weirdo. Salacious Crumb, you'd always lose him. You know, remember when he's digging out 3PO's eye? Not cool. But these items, it's super neat to find these vintage items. $5 each. How can you beat that? Vintage Toy Review. Check it out. What? 80s Toy Review. That was even better.